Srimate Nityanandaya. Avadut Parabrahma Bhagavan Nityananda's preachings in Chidakasha Gita says that a Jnani has no difference between inferior or superiority. Just as animals and birds do not worry about tomorrow, their worry is only for today. Likewise, a Jnani has no tension of tomorrow. Bhagavan Nityananda's disciple Pujya Vimalananda Swami is a Mahan Jnani. He never worried about tomorrow. As he had great belief in Bhagavan Nityananda, for him Bhagavan is his God. He was constantly meditating on his Gurudeva. Pujya Vimalananda Swami basically is from Bantwal. He was a notorious child and played many pranks. He troubled his school teachers, neighbors, and friends. His family members, being tired of his blatant behavior, decided to take him to Ganeshpuri to receive darshana of Bhagavan Nityananda. Boy Vimalananda reluctantly agreed to go to Ganeshpuri. After reaching Ganeshpuri, the room in which Bhagavan was taking rest gleamed out of yellow color, and there he happened to see the shade of Mahavishnu with 4 hands and crown. The boy was spellbound and just prostrated on floor. Get up. Had your food? The stuffed voice made him wake up and look at the holy man Bhagavan Nityananda, who was sleeping just in lined cloth with smile on his face. The boy was shocked as the picture of room completely changed. Without able to understand what actually was happening with him, he saw Bhagavan Nityananda drawing plus mark on the wall with his nail, and he said something. After this, the boy was reluctant to go back to his place. However, forcefully he was taken back to his village. He was there for 3 months. Then he came back to Mumbai and he badly wanted to go to Ganeshpuri, but he had no idea how to reach Ganeshpuri. In order to earn his livelihood, he joined British company which produces metal box. He worked there for 3 months. His desire to meet Bhagavan Nityananda was so strong that he quit his job and he decided to go to Ganeshpuri. But the hitch is that he did not know how to reach Bhagavan Nityananda. Neither he could reach Ganeshpuri nor he could go back to his village. Thus, he decided to take his life. He waited for train for long time in railway track to take his life. Fortunately, no train passed on that track. Right at that moment, there came a saint, a sannyasi with stick in his hand, and asked boy, what is he up to? Boy revealed the truth. The saint told him, if you want to take your life, you can definitely do that. But before you do so, once you visit Ganeshpuri and have darshan of Bhagavan Nityananda. As the boy expressed his wish to go to Ganeshpuri, the saint suggested him the way to reach Ganeshpuri. Finally, the boy Vimalananda reached Ganeshpuri and decided to take life after Bhagavan's darshan. With this intention, he donated whatever money he had and his clothes to the needy. He took bath in holy pond of Ganeshpuri and went to meet Bhagavan Nityananda. The moment he saw divine face of Bhagavan, he just forgot his intention to commit suicide. The one who is under the blessing of Bhagavan will never undergo such disaster. Bhagavan, looking at boy Vimalananda, he said, Dharmashale, Dharmashale. Boy went to Dharmashale and he was free from the thought of suicide and he continued to live there. After some time, one more desire came upon boy. He wished to go back to his village and look after his parents. Thus, He went to Bhagwan to convey his wish, but Bhagwan questioned him, "Would you like to jump into sea again?" Here sea meant family, materialistic life. Boy Vimalananda is meant to be a monk. He is blessed to be a monk. Going back to his family meant that he is going to jump into trouble again. The boy continued to live in Vaikunthashrama under the command of Bhagwan. At present, Bhagwan Samadhi Mandir is constructed in Vaikunthashram. This is how, for 9 long years, Vimalananda Swami continued to live in Ganeshpuri and witnessed countless miracles of Bhagwan Nityananda. Once, boy Vimalananda wished to visit Kashi. When he approached Bhagwan with this wish, Bhagwan questioned him, "Kashiyallenu mannittidiya? Mannittidiya?" means, what is there in Kashi? Have you kept anything in Kashi? After this, boy Vimalananda never expressed his wish to go to Kashi, and he just removed it from his mind. After 2 years, once suddenly Bhagwan Nityananda called out boy Vimalananda and commanded him to go to Kashi. The boy, as per the command of his guru, he left to Kashi the very next day. When he went inside to have darshana of Kashi Vishwanatha, he was astonished to see his Gurudeva Bhagwan Nityananda. He cursed himself at his idiosyncratic behavior and said, "Hey Gurudeva, to look at you, I had to come all the way from Ganeshpuri to Kashi." And immediately he left Kashi and reached Ganeshpuri. Bhagwan ironically questioned the boy, "Had a darshan of Kashi Vishwanath?" Boy Vimalananda, being shameful at his act, prostrated in front of Bhagwan without uttering a word. 1 year before conferring Sannyasa Dikshe, Bhagwan Nityananda asked Vimalananda to go to Kanchanagad. The one who manages to stay with Janananda Swami is suitable to be a sannyasi. As per the command of Guru, Vimalananda served Puja Janananda Swami by cooking food for him. Bhagwan Nityananda once ordered boy Vimalananda to go to Tapovana. Boy Vimalananda was excited to go to Brahmagiri, which is close to Tapovana. Along with other people, he too went to Brahmagiri, which has no proper steps to climb. While climbing, Vimalananda accidentally slipped, and if he did not catch hold of a small plant, he would have fallen dead. With great difficulty, all other pilgrims lifted him, and the plant that he caught just came out in their hand. Vimalananda Swami was sure that it is his Gurudeva alone who rescued him. When he approached his Gurudeva, "Brahmagiriyallenu mannittidiya? Mannittidiya?" which meant, "What have you kept in Brahmagiri? Did I ask you to visit there?" Vimalananda Swami apologized with Gurudeva and prostrated in front of him. Boy Vimalananda received a message from his family members saying that his mother is seriously ill and he has to go and visit her once. He could not control his emotion. He wailed for some time and then he went to Bhagwan with a request to see his mother. Bhagwan Nityananda for the second time questioned him, "Do you want to go back to see called family, relationship?" Thus, he sent photo of Bhagwan with his relatives to show it to his mother with words that her son is safe and under the care of Bhagwan Nityananda. His mother saw Bhagwan's photo and was relieved that her son is under care of Bhagwan. With this relief, she breathed her last. Vimalananda was asked to serve in Vaikunthashrama from the day 1 at Ganeshpuri. As he could not receive darshana of Bhagwan Nityananda for long time, boy Vimalananda started fasting and already 6 days over. At that moment, there came a strange man asking for hotel. Boy Vimalananda told him that there is a hotel called Madhuvilas, but the stranger wanted him to accompany him to the hotel. As they reached hotel, stranger ordered for 2 full meal, but boy Vimalananda rejected, saying that he is fasting. Annoyed stranger ordered boy that this is not a market, do not make noise here. After this incident, went to Ganeshpuri to receive darshana of Bhagwan, who said, Abhimana, Abhimana, yarige yaru koduvudu, Abhimana bidu. It meant ego, ghamand. With whom are you showing your ego? Bhagwan knew everything. He watches everyone. One more time, when he was fasting for 4 days, as he could not control his hunger, he started weeping badly. Bhagwan offered him 2 bananas, which he ate along with its skin. After this incident, hunger never troubled him. Near Triveni Sangam at Allahabad, boy Vimalananda was meditating, and there a woman brought variety of food prepared for Vimalananda Swami. At this point of time, he had a pride that he is a sadhaka. He rejected food, but that lady insisted him to have food. Annoyed Vimalananda Swami questioned lady, who asked you to get these food? At that moment, there came a stranger who slapped Vimalananda Swami and called him as a thief. The localites gathered there and they were impressed to see a young boy doing his sadhana. They thrashed the man who troubled his sadhana, and they made arrangement for boy Vimalananda to stay in a Hanuman temple nearby. When he went back to Ganeshpuri, once again Bhagwan yelled at him saying, Leave your ego, your pride, Abhimana bidu. By practicing Hatha Yoga and meditating throughout, boy Vimalananda's eyes turned red and it appeared as if eyeballs have come out. His watery eyes pained a lot. Bhagwan Nityananda asked him to go to clinic at Vajreshwari and get medicated. Vimalananda was adamant he didn't go to doctor, as he wondered, when his Gurudeva can treat everyone, give solution to their problems, why can't he heal my pain? But his eye pain became severe and he had to take assistance of other inmates to reach Gurudeva. Gurudeva retorted saying, Inno yake dhyana, seveye dhyana, seveye dhyana. Why do you want to meditate like this? Your service, your work itself is meditation. Go to doctor. Gurudeva's miracles, his pavadas, boy has witnessed. Even after all this, why his Gurudeva asked him to go to doctor was the question always troubled, and he never got answer to it. During the time of heavy downpour, Tansa river was flooded and there used to be temporary flood in Ganeshpuri ashram. Water sneaked into Vaikuntha room also. Bhagwan Nityananda used to sit on a table to avoid being wet. As the water level increased, he kept chair on the table and sat on that. It looked like a childish act to all inmates, as Gurudeva was looking at water and laughing like a child. Boy Vimalananda, along with all other inmates of ashram, decided to clean ashram as there is enough water. As they brought broomstick and other equipments to clean, they witnessed the divine touch. The moment water touched Bhagwan's feet, all that flood water vanished in a moment. The river was blessed with divine sparsha, divine touch of Bhagwan's feet. Vimalananda Swami, when he was a young boy, he was meditating in the holy pond of Ganeshpuri early in the morning at 3 o'clock. As he was meditating by keeping his head above water level, he noticed that there was a strong fragrance of champaka flower, and someone was creating hustle bustle in the water. As he was about to scream at a fellow, he noticed that it is his Gurudeva who just took bath and moving by staring at him. The boy was scared at his sight. Polio-infected sister was carried by her brother to Ganeshpuri often. Once, Bhagwan Nityananda shouted at the boy, asking him to drop her down. Boy was scared at this and he dropped her down and he ran from there. Polio-infected girl, as she saw her brother running, she ran behind him. This miracle of Bhagwan Nityananda was witnessed by boy Vimalananda. Sometimes Bhagwan Nityananda used to ask his devotees what is the time. Vimalananda was laughing at this drama of Bhagwan, as he knows everything, yet he plays pranks with his devotees as if he truly wants to know time. Though Bhagwan has cautioned boy Vimalananda not to practice Hatha Yoga, he continued practicing it. To put it in his own words, at last phase of my life, I am experiencing the consequence of practicing Hatha Yoga in spite of my Bhagwan's warning. In the year 1960, before attaining Mahasamadhi, Bhagwan called boy Vimalananda by saying, Sannyasi, Sannyasi, Sannyasi means you are a monk. He blessed boy Vimalananda by conferring Sannyasa Dikshe and commanded him, go to Kolluru. This body was there for 3 years. Bhagwan always referred himself saying Idu, this. He never said Nanu or me. Before sending him to Kolluru, Bhagwan Nityananda, just as father asks son, questioned him, what do you want? Vimalananda Swami told him, I want you, Gurudeva. At this answer, Bhagwan gave a stare at Vimalananda Swami and said, go. He also gifted his rug by dragging it as he sat on it and blessed Pujya Vimalananda Swami. After reaching Kolluru, he constructed a small cottage out of grass. Before 1 month of Bhagwan Nityananda's Mahasamadhi, Vimalananda Swami left to Ganeshpuri. At this time, there was heavy flood in Kolluru and the hut that he built was washed off. After completion of the rituals of Mahasamadhi, Vimalananda Swami came back to Kolluru with heavy heart and he noticed that his hut is also washed off. During this time, Uppuru Narayana Shetty was serving as a managing trustee of Kolluru Mukambika temple. He advised Pujya Vimalananda Swami to take shelter in a nearby hostelry or chhatra. Next day, Uppuru Narayana Shetty called Vimalananda Swami to the temple and told that, in my dream yesterday, I have seen a shade of, I am not sure if it is a goddess or your Gurudeva. It was as if that shade advised me to give a place for you. Vimalananda Swami was a straightforward monk. So he told on his face that, don't I have the same God who came in your dream? If that's so, he will come in my dream. He said in anger and he came out from there. Something might have happened with Pujya Vimalananda Swami. Thus, next day he approached Narayana Shetty and he agreed to live in a place that he is willing to give. Thus, pillars, wood and other requirements to build a cottage, a kutira, were supplied from the temple. With the help of devotees and with the divine blessing of Avaduta Parabrahma, Bhagwan Nityananda, a temple was built. It was inaugurated on April 9, 2009. 5-metal alloy statue of Bhagwan Nityananda was installed.
Om Namo Jagadguru Nityanandaya. Om Namo परब्रह्म नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो परब्रह्म नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो ज्ञानेश्वर नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो ज्ञानेश्वर नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो स्वामी समर्थ नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो स्वामी समर्थ नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो पाण्डुरङ्ग नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो पाण्डुरङ्ग नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो गुरुदेव नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो गुरुदेव नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो परब्रह्म नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो परब्रह्म नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो ज्ञानेश्वर नित्यानन्दाय
ॐ नमो ज्ञानेश्वर नित्यानन्दाय
Kollur Sri Sadguru Nityananda Ashram was robbed by thieves. One silver crown, 2 chower which is used as a fan, and 1 pearl chain was robbed. Police investigated and they suggested Vimalananda Swami to give a complaint. But Vimalananda Swami said no because he had staunch belief in Bhagavan. He said, if my Gurudeva want it back, somehow he will get it back. 9 months after this incident, Pujya Vimalananda Swami was admitted to Omega Hospital due to illness. Dr. Mukund of Omega Hospital was treating Vimalananda Swami. Suddenly one day, Vimalananda Swami started saying that he would like to go back to Kollur on that day itself. Though doctor suggested him that it is not the right decision at this time of treatment, Vimalananda Swami did not listen to any of this and he was brought back to Kolluru. After reaching Kolluru Nityananda Ashrama, there came a police jeep with good news that the robbed item is found in a bush near Shuklatirtha temple of Kolluru. Vimalananda Swami did not show any interest on money. If anybody donated money, he used to reject it. Once, a devotee donated 100 rupees note to Swami, but Swami stamped the devotee out of anger and questioned him, "Who are you to give me money?" Pujya Vimalananda Swami narrated this incident to his devotee Jayananda and confessed that he was paid back for what he did. At one point of time in his life, he had not even a single paisa in his hand. This is how Bhagavan Nityananda removed all my pride, said Vimalananda Swami. An old man with stick in his hand once visited Sri Sadguru Nityananda Ashrama of Kolluru. A devotee enquired him, "Where is he from?" Monk answered, "I came from Kerala. I went to Himalaya. Then I was there in Ganeshpuri. Now I came to Kollur because I wanted to come here." So one of the devotee by name Manjesh offered him 100 rupees, which monk rejected, saying that, "I do not want money." And he sat there for some time and he left ashrama. Vimalananda Swami, due to illness, was taking rest inside, and suddenly he started crying like a baby, saying that, "My Gurudeva, my Bhagavan came to visit, but none of us noticed it." Sri Jayananda and many other devotees were sad and wept as they could not recognize Gurudeva. In the year 2000, Pujya Vimalananda Swami was admitted at Bangalore Okata Hospital as he was suffering with heart disease. Dr. Vivek Chavali did heart surgery and placed a pacemaker. For 1 month, he was under treatment in the hospital and the bill came up to 3,75,000. On observing dull face of Vimalananda Swami, devotee Jayananda asked Swami, Why is he silent? Swami answered, Nothing, my child. Hospital expense has come up to 3,75,000. I have only 1,25,000. How Gurudeva manages the rest of the money is yet to see. When devotee Jayananda assured Swami that he will go to Kulluru and arrange for the rest of the money, he stopped him and asked to wait. One of the devotees of Swami Vimalananda came to hospital to check the whereabouts of Vimalananda Swamiji, and he noticed that Vimalananda Swamiji is tensed for some issue. When he inquired, he learned that there was need of 2.5 lakh money. He assured them that he will manage for 2.5 lakh. And next day, after discharge, Puja Vimalananda Swamiji was taken to his one more devotee's house by name Krishnappa, who was serving as an assistant commissioner. As they reached Krishnappa's house, they were astonished to find the same devotee who has offered them 2.5 lakh a day before. And this man apologized Swami as he could not help in any ways, as he is in debt and he is completely out of money. His Omni car met with accident recently, and to repair that he had no money. Swamiji's devotee Jayananda was in confusion. There was big question in his mind. Who is that man who gave 2.5 lakh previous day? It was clarified only when Vimalananda Swami, with tears in his eyes, told him, Do you know who managed to give 2.5 lakh? It's my Gurudeva, who came in the form of my devotee. Vimalananda Swamiji visits Ganeshpuri every year, and he stays in Nityananda Chaya room number 2 for 1 month. Ganeshpuri Trust always reserves this room to Swami Vimalananda. Puja Vimalananda Swami strictly followed Ajatavada Tattva of Bhagavan Nityananda. If anyone spoke about issues related to caste, he never allowed them to enter ashram. In the episodes of Om Namo Bhagavate Nityanandaya, we provide details of Bhagavan Nityananda's disciples by mentioning their caste, creed, religion to which they belong. The intention behind giving these details is not to divide or to highlight their caste. A monk has no caste, no religion. There was a statement that Bhagavan Nityananda belongs to particular group and he has no disciple. Nityananda Swami followed Ajatavada by conferring Shaktipat to his disciples from different caste, religion, creed and community. Bhagavan did this intentionally. Thus, to prove Ajatavada Tattva of Bhagavan, we mention the caste, religion of his disciple, and there is no other intention. In fact, Bhagavan Nityananda does not belong to any caste, community or religion. Bhagavan Nityananda is a Parabrahma. Puja Vimalananda Swami never celebrated Punya Tithi of his Gurudeva. According to him, his Gurudeva is always with him. By performing puja, japa, tapa, dhyana, Puja Vimalananda Swamiji led a blissful life at Sri Sadguru Nityananda Ashram. He has good number of devotees from India and outside India. Vimalananda Swamiji has developed ashrama out of his sheer effort, and today it's a holy center attracting many devotees. To the north side of the ashram, there is old Naga Subramanya temple. Once upon a time, a huge banyan tree fell on the idols of Naga, and except one idol, rest all were broken complete. As it was advised in Prashne, Puja Vimalananda Swami had to do Punar Pratishte of this Nagabimba. Thus, in the year 1978, Punar Pratishte of this Naga Sannidhi was performed. June 2nd, 2014, Monday, At the time of Mahamangalarati in Sri Sadguru Nityananda Ashram, Pujya Vimalananda Swamiji took a deep breath and merged with Bhagwan. Day before he attained Samadhi, he addressed his devotees saying that this body for 9 long years was under the care of Bhagwan. According to his wish, this has come here. This has completed its work. Now it's time to go back to my Gurudeva. Pujya Vimalananda Swami left his home at the age of 12. At the age of 21, he was conferred with Sannyasa Diksha, and at the age of 80, he merged with Bhagwan Nityananda. His Samadhi Mandir was constructed beside ashram. But there was an objection on the construction of Samadhi Mandir in the ashram. There was high pressure for the removal of Samadhi, which affected the emotions of the devotees of Pujya Vimalananda Swamiji. Pujya Swamijis of various temples and mathas, devotees of Vimalananda Swamiji, localites, leaders of different political parties without any difference of their party, joined together to protect Samadhi Mandir of Vimalananda Swamiji. Right at this point, Pujya Vijayananda Swami of Bevinakoppa Anandashrama retorted saying that India is called as sacred land of Rishi Muni and saints. But in the same land, if there is objection to build a Samadhi Mandir of a monk, where else should we do it? Should we take it outside India? Isn't it a plot against Hinduism? Sri Manjunath Adiga, Tantri of Kolluru Mukambika Temple, has produced the apt document from Yatidharma Sangraha to prove that Samadhi Mandir can be built in ashram. Karnataka President of Ahinda organization, K. Shivaram, was invited to address people in this regard. With the cooperation of Karnataka Chief Minister of that time, Siddharamaiah, and Sri H.K. Patil, a disciple of Bhagwan Nityananda, Mahamandaleshwara Pujya Vishweshwarananda Swamiji of Brahmagiri Ashram, Naga Sadhus, Swamijis of various matha and temples, artists from Tulu cinema and drama industry, devotees of Nityananda Swami from Mysuru, Bantwala, Udupi, Kanchanagad, Mumbai and other Nityananda Ashram worked together to retain Samadhi Mandir. With the immense support of press and electronic media, the issue was focused to its fullest and it was solved peacefully. Ex-Chief Minister Siddharamaiah gave statement saying that it has to be protected as it is. There was also a statement saying that Vimalananda Swami is not a disciple of Bhagwan Nityananda. A written document was produced with statement that he is the disciple of Bhagwan. If Nityananda Ashram to be built in Kolluru and the issue of the removal of Samadhi has come out, there is definitely inner truth behind this. Kolluru Mukambika Mate, Katilu Sri Durga Parameshwari, Polali Rajarajeshwari, all these different forms are one as Jagan Mate. Jagan Mate has no difference of pure or impure. This earth is nothing but the powder of more than 84 lakh creatures' dead body. Thus, can we differentiate saying that this part of earth is pure and other as impure? Is it possible to differentiate for silly human beings like us? Basavanna said, Nelamundu Shauchalaya Devalayake, which meant this earth goddess has given place for temple as well as to toilets. She has no difference. She has given place to everyone. No one can draw boundary on her existence. She is Vishwavyapi. If her wish was not there, then definitely it wouldn't have been possible to to build Nityananda Ashram at Kolluru. Karunakara Swami from Matunga labor camp has told Vijayananda Swami that it's not easy to remove Samadhi of Vimalananda Swami because Bhagwan Nityananda has kept a Naga to protect ashram and Samadhi Mandir. Sab mitti hai. Bhagwan Nityananda used to say this always. This body has come from mud and finally it goes back to mud. Here we have to understand one thing, that the issue of removal of Pujya Vimalananda Swami's Samadhi, it has come out intentionally, that is, it was wish of goddess, because she wanted to make it very clear that everything, everyone, every creature is her creation. With this, we end our today's episode. In the next episode, we try our best to bring information related to other disciples of Bhagavan Nityananda. Namo Nityanandaya.
ॐ नमो भगवते नित्यानन्दाय।